Welcome back to Pixel Junkies. You are listening to the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 8. Just a reminder, if you're listening on the radio, you can go onto YouTube, type in Pixel Junkies, and find the full hour-and-a-half long version. I am one of your hosts, Rory DC.
I'm Adam the Porch Knight.
Go ahead.
I was waiting for Jordan to talk.
Oh.
I'm Aaron.
And Andrew.
So you'll notice that I'm all by myself over here at Mike G2. So that's nice.
Which stands for guest 2.
Yeah.
Jordan's out in the middle of the woods getting hunted down horribly by werewolves, right?
Yeah.
And
that we've set it loose on him.
Yeah. Also his girlfriend.
Oh. So yeah, we're down to 2 cameras today. Mm-hmm. Radio listeners don't know that.
Oh yeah,
but Jordan owns one of the cameras, so we don't have that camera.
Yeah. We should have just gotten it from him beforehand.
Yeah, except it would have been nice if he gave us more than 3 seconds notice that he was not going to be available on Friday.
That's true.
Typical Jordan fashion.
Technically, I've known since January, but I didn't care.
It's been planned for this that long?
Since January? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
he still said he forgot about the
because they were like, Adam, guess what? I'm like, what? It's like, a bunch of us are going camping. I'm like, when? Like March. I'm like, cool, I'll book it off. It's like, oh, you're not going, and I'm like, oh, it's for couples only. And I'm
How's it feel to be all on your own?
It's pretty good because I'm going to see Chappie tonight, and I'm going
couples?
out on.
It's couple, right?
What?
You know, you and your significant other.
Oh yeah.
Sci-fi and nerd stuff.
So
how's it going?
actually, Ultimate Fighter stuff.
Okay.
What's the deal with?
Okay, so wait, can we hold on 1 second here before we do this? So, anyways, a couple weeks ago, we had this thing where Adam was like, I want to start talking, but I want to start the podcast saying something about the NFL. I was like, okay, this is odd, right? Because Adam doesn't really watch the NFL.
No, I hate it. It's a terrible sport.
But it was a nice surprise because I'm a football fan, and this week he's starting talking about the UFC, which I'm also a huge fan of.
And I'm also going to point out a significant flaw of it, so prepare.
Okay, sure.
What's the deal with Anderson? I'm a really good fighter, but apparently it's because I take, Bane, Venom, Silva, the spider.
Okay, yeah. A brief background. Anderson Silva is arguably the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. He just tested positive for steroids, which he claims he didn't do.
Well, he did.
For all intents and purposes, as best as we can tell, he did. He should be fired. That's what should happen. I'm not sure if he will be fired. The problem is if you take steroids in a sport like that. If you take steroids in baseball, you're cheating, but you're doing something to throw a ball further. If you take steroids in a sport like that, you're cheating and you're going to hurt somebody.
Why don't they have a steroids league?
They used to.
Oh.
Not the UFC didn't. Back in Japan, back in the day, they had this fight promotion called Pride, and it was in the contracts. Your opponent might be on steroids. I think it was Pride or one of the Japanese promotions. They had this one guy. They were like, "We want you to fight at a weight class above." He's like, "I can't do that." And they're like, "Take steroids. We'll make you much larger." That was the thing.
Just to clarify, it was steroids and not Bane Venom.
Yes, yeah.
I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Joker
he wasn't coming out, and he was like, "Hang on, guys." Gunk. So yeah, and Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. So you remember I showed you guys a fight a couple weeks ago. It lasted 16 seconds. Mm-hmm. She just fought again. It was 14 seconds.
Nice. She beat her own record.
She basically, what I'm assuming is, the fight started, she laughed at the other person, then grabbed her arm, threw it to the floor, and then, tore it off.
The other person ran at her like a lunatic, thinking that was, I don't know, going to surprise her or something. It didn't. No. She threw her on the ground and proceeded to...
Has anyone ever been thrown out of the ring?
You know what? Someone tried once, and then it was an unsuccessful attempt, and then they banned throwing people out of the ring. They were like, "Oh wait, this is actually possible. We can't have this."
Was it Andre the Giant versus?
I just want somebody to
dug at a hacksaw,
picked him up.
I'm just grab someone by their head and swing them around like a helicopter, and then just hurl them out of their.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, he comes out with the chair.
Before the UFC was a modernized sport, they didn't have a lot of rules. Before the current guys who own the company took over, and they got a lot of their rules from everything this one fighter did. They were like, "Oh, this guy tries to do this. We're gonna ban this." So that's why there's no fish hooking and hits to the groin and stuff like that, because that was one of his strategies.
And fish hooking is not what you think. It's using literal fish hooks.
It's not like QA testing for a video game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, what do these players try to do to break the game?
Exactly.
All this stuff. Let's fix
you
this.
hear multiple explosions. All right, guns are banned.
So,
Marco Polo.
No golden retrievers allowed.
If I ever make a sport, that's the first rule. You have to be human.
Marco Polo. Adam just watched it. I'm also a big fan of the show. Adam, give us your review of the show.
It's good. It's like Game of Thrones in style. It's very clearly meant for like an alternative Game of Thrones, just because it's a historical series, even though Game of Thrones is fantasy, but it's very medieval Europe. It's a historical series based around power struggles of like centered around various dynasties and royal families, and like one or two characters of like just like kind of lower down characters are kind of swept up in the power plays of like emperors and lords and stuff like that. I like this a little bit better than Game of Thrones, but I don't think it is. I like it better, but I don't think it is better than Game of Thrones. I like Marco Polo better than Game of Thrones, but I don't think it is better than Game of Thrones.
Why do you like it more?
Because it's just so different. Because it focuses. It has a lot of like Chinese kung fu style martial arts, and it just feels like I'm kind of tired of the very Western fantasy or Western medieval settings, and so having something out of like Chinese and Eastern like mythology and style and history was refreshing. And it also, I don't know, I just like it more. I don't really know why.
Yeah.
I think one thing about the show that's really definitive that I found in distinguishing it from Game of Thrones, because it is similar, is that it chooses a definite protagonist. It's like, this is the guy whose story we're going to follow.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Game of Thrones is sort of more pick someone to root for styling. So some people, you would think, would find Marco Polo more accessible.
It's gotten almost like 100% negative reviews from critics. Which is a shame, because it's like, you guys should check it out. It's only 10 episodes. Each episode's about an hour. It's very watchable over a week.
House of Cards Season 3 just came out.
Yes, it did, yeah.
The show, I watched the first season. I like that. I haven't gone back to watch Season 2 or 3 yet, but I will at some point.
It's directed really well.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, yeah.
David Fincher did a few episodes. I don't know how
he did
many
at least
exactly.
The first one, yeah. I remember. He's and of course, we both think David Fincher is amazing.
Yeah, I think he's the best director.
He's one of the best directors working
right now. Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it for a long time, because there was a while there where all the ads I saw were House of Cards ads on YouTube, and I'm just like, not gonna watch it. You've ruined it. You've ruined it. No, that's it. No, we're done here. So I won't be watching that.
That's why I didn't see A Most Violent Year, because when me and Adam went to an advanced screening of The Imitation Game, and the trailer for Most Violent Year was played 18 times.
We're not exaggerating. I think we counted. I lost count at 18.
Well, you couldn't keep track because it was just too many. I mean, it was movie trailer hell.
Yeah, and it was like one of those trailers that's like designed for the general audience, and so me and Rory kind of hate it because we're so used to watching trailers, and we're just like, we get it. Like,
was that the pre-roll for one movie?
Yeah.
So like, it's the same audience of people. It's not like
but they just looped it because that was the next showing that was going to get an advanced screening, or the next movie that was getting an advanced screening.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like the people that you're showing it to haven't seen it already. It's the same.
Well, more people
audience.
were coming into the theater.
Well, then play it at the end. Play it like
yeah,
right before
I
the movie
agree.
comes out.
Yeah, don't play it. And we got there quite early because we wanted to make sure we got good seats and everything.
Yeah, you're having an annoying trailer when I would rather watch the movie pre-show. Like, that's the lowest compliment I could ever give something.
I would rather watch that tech guy.
I would rather
watch
watch 2 hours and 40 minutes of that tech guy than Transformers 4. That's how much I don't like that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
What would he talk about for almost 3 hours?
I don't know. The new Samsung Galaxy 4, when you take a picture, don't point it at the sun like an idiot.
Why? Does it like fry the phone?
No, because he was just like, if you want to take a good picture, don't point it at the sun, or you'll get glare in the camera.
By the way,
don't point it at an exceedingly bright object, you numbskull.
How many people must have like burned their vision out back in the day before they didn't know you weren't supposed to point telescopes at the sun? Like, how many people did it take to figure that out?
Do you think like just like Galileo is like, what's your observations of the sun coming? He takes his eye off, it is all like red, like smoke. He's like. It's like, well.
By the way, speaking of the telescope is the world's lamest invention.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because
I guarantee you it isn't. But
if you're a lens maker like Hans Lippershey was, it's only a matter of time.
Hans Lippershey.
before you put one
Name
lens
dropping
in front
by
of
Rory.
another lens and you're like, it magnifies better. That's an invention that was gonna happen no matter who. Like, if he didn't invent it, some other guy would have invented it, like, a month later. Just by chance, just by putting a
At
lens
least you
in front
can
of another
do something
lens.
with it. I mean,
It's not like the egg cracker thing where the people, like, do you have trouble cracking eggs? And they have, like, the person, like, cracking an egg, like, it's like, oh, I got shell everywhere. I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
don't
like,
crack your egg like an idiot.
it's an
Take a
infinitely-
spoon and go clank, and then, like, tear it apart.
Like, it's a very useful invention now, but it's kind of like a lame genesis for the
Well,
invention, I think.
it was absolutely terrible when it first came out. You know the eyepiece of the telescope?
Oh,
The
yeah.
part- it used to be made out of jagged metal.
Yeah.
So, like, you'd put your eye there and you'd destroy your eye. You could use it once and then never again.
what did you
That's
like
a
have to
total
put
lie.
it underneath
Yeah, of
your
course
eye?
it's a
your eye?
total lot. Well, like, I know they were, in advanced. And that you had me until you could use it once.
That's how his stories
Because they
go.
could have made it out of something that sucked. That is, like, plausibly something that would have happened back then.
Like pure lead or something.
Yeah,
Oh, man, the original
exactly.
one was
Yeah,
just
think of
like-
all the weird stuff. Like I always say about
Mercury.
like asbestos
A
was like
mercury-coated eyepiece.
asbestos was probably the worst investment that I can think of in the modern day. Well, think about it. Like, think of how.
Do you mean investment in terms of, like, for building material or investment money-wise?
No, I
'Cause
mean investment in terms of
money-wise-
building material.
Okay,
Like, think
that's
about how
true.
much they went all in with asbestos. They put it everywhere. They're
But
just like,
if you were investing in an asbestos company back in the 50s, you were basically printing money.
oh no, yeah, it was a good idea to invest in asbestos, but I mean, asbestos was a bad idea,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
went
now in
totally
retrospect.
all in.
Do you think that we're going to get to a point where we're going to be looking back and like, what were we ever thinking with gyprock?
When was the big asbestos crash?
The big asbestos crash.
Yeah.
Probably 1970 when everything else crashed.
Asbestos, like it's a cereal.
Yeah.
I wonder when that actually. Yeah, when
That's
did
what I'm
that
talking
actually
about.
happen? Like now
Not
we
the
know.
insulation, the cereal.
Cheerios.
Like
made
we're
out of
still getting rid of
asbestos.
asbestos. Like to this
Yeah, they
day
are.
at this this university is for some reason filled with asbestos. Because how many times have I seen the like asbestos work sign up?
Well, that's the last episode of Pixel Junkies podcast. Thanks for joining us.
The best line one of the best lines in Portal 2, where it's just like, don't worry, this entire facility is made out of asbestos, completely fireproof, acid-proof, laser-proof, and if your vision starts to blur and you start bleeding out your nose, that's just the asbestos working, or that's just the asbestos telling you it's working.
CNA had asbestos in it as well. When I was there, they had they closed down the gym because a daycare. They realized the daycare was filled with asbestos. So they closed it down and moved all the kids and the workers to the CNA gym because they were getting rid of the asbestos in the daycare.
Which was ironically also filled with...
And then they realized that they realized the gym was also filled with asbestos, so they had to get rid of that and move the kids again out of there to somewhere else.
I got to tell this story. I've told it
Where'd
to.
you move them? We moved them to the asbestos quarry. Oh no!
I've told this to probably each
just out on
of
the
you
lawn.
individually, but I want to tell it on the podcast because I think it's good. So, anyways, we have this school in Newfoundland, this high school, and if you were looking at an aerial view of the map of this school, it would look like it had two gyms. In reality, it's actually one gym and one auditorium. Mm-hmm. And
Is it Booth?
no, it is not Booth.
Okay.
I don't think Booth has any gyms. No. that school is held together with duct tape.
Booth doesn't have a gym, and that's the daycare.
Booth
Booth is the rough school. No, it's Holy Heart.
yeah.
You can name drop a high
Yeah,
school.
that's true. Yeah, so these two guys sitting there with a school map, and they're looking at it. I guess it's like an aerial view. And it's like, buddy, how come we got two gyms? And the other one says, I don't know. Is one smoking and one non-smoking? This is actual quote.
And then God sniped them.
Smoking in gyms. The smoking gym.
So when they closed down one to get rid of the asbestos, you can use the other one.
Yeah.
That's why they built it.
You know what I heard that's really, really scary? Do you guys know what kinetic weapons are? If I said what a kinetic weapon?
I think
Does it have
So-
anything to do with kinetic as in physics?
No, it's connects.
The Xbox.
It's connects?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. It is kinetic. What it
should have
is?
kept going.
Yeah. What it is basically, for those who don't know at home, it's a weapon where they're like, let's stick a satellite up in geosynchronous orbit around Earth, fill it with tungsten, like 6 meter tall tungsten rods, and then if we want to like let's say we're invading Iraq. We're the United States military. We're invading Iraq. It's like, okay, we got to take care of ISIS. ISIS's stronghold is in Mosul.
Let's not get all political here.
It's in made-up city, and
We don't want to give people ideas, Adam.
no. Anyway, so we can drop this. We can basically tell the satellite to move over to this over the city, and then drop this rod on the city. And by the time it hits the ground, it's going Mach 10. So the kinetic strait alone will just like level the city. But it's not nuclear and it's not biological and not chemical. So you can basically pave over the.
So it's a rod. What do you mean drop? You don't
just
mean that in the literal sense.
It just drops it from orbit.
They would have to fire it though, wouldn't
Well, okay,
Yeah,
we'll
like
fire
that's
it.
what. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, what's the actual like launch?
Like if you
It would,
just
it would
it's
fire,
just like
but it's not like a giant gun.
right.
It just like ejects it out, and then like the force of gravity will just cause it to.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to actually fire much of anything. They
Yeah.
just have to release
must
it at
be
the
a-
right time, and gravity would do the
there
rest.
must be a lot of computers figuring that stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. You
But
have to be
here's-
pretty
but here's the
accurate.
scary thing.
If you miss, that's
Where's
a
it
bad
gonna
thing.
hit?
But here's the scary thing: weapons like that are not like there's no treaties that basically ban those weapons. At least none that I could think. I'm there. I'll admit I didn't really do a lot of research. I did like 10 minutes worth of research, but like none ever came up because it's technically.
Where's
because
Jordan
it's not,
with his hardcore research skills, who never talks about a story until he's fully understood every detail?
Well, like
because it's not nuclear, it's not biological, it's not chemical, so it's not considered a weapon of mass destruction.
This is like a high-tech version of when castles would throw over hot tar
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
people.
isn't like exploding something still technically like an act of war though? Like if you
Oh, it's an act of war, but it's not a weapon of mass destruction, so there's no specific treaties kind of governing this thing. So the United States
stupid,
could
though.
build one
How
and
long do you
really
have
not
before
break
it
that's
gets to the
politics.
ground?
10 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
That's
not-
politics.
It's not enough time to get
It's
away.
not in our book, so you can do it. I don't
It's
know.
not enough time to what?
To get away.
No.
Like, if you knew it was
and
coming.
just think,
be
like
tungsten
with
and
a
dummy,
nuclear
you
missile
can't-
or a nuclear bomb, that's dropped from an airplane. You could shoot that
Well,
out of the sky, but if you're trying to
yeah.
hit a 6 meter tall, say half a foot wide tungsten bullet going Mach 10 straight down, you're not going to be able to stop that.
There's nothing in this rule book that says golden retrievers can't fire tungsten bullets.
Airpod catch.
We got to take a quick break 7 minutes ago, and when we come back, we're going to talk about
Metal Gear
Stuff.
Solid.
Metal Gear Solid. And we are back with the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 8. Now, before the break, we mentioned that we were going to talk about Metal Gear Solid. Do you mind if I start?
Go right ahead.
Which doesn't have tungsten rod kinetic orbital strike.
It could.
capabilities.
Not yet.
Actually, that would honestly be a good way around the Metal Gear stuff. Just have a satellite up in space being like, instead of building some sort of ridiculous bipedal nuclear launching tank that everybody's getting some...
But they can fire from anywhere on the planet, Adam.
Can they?
Yes. That's why they're bipedal.
Can they in the middle of a volcano?
Yes.
So why would you need to make it mobile?
Really?
I don't know.
Okay.
Huh?
Why would you need to make it mobile then?
Because they can move to in a position that it can fire.
You know what can do that easier? An airplane.
Just put it on a mountain and then
You
it
can
can
shoot
fire
down
anywhere.
an airplane.
You can shoot that. One guy took down Metal Gear Rex.
That's exactly my point. Just build it in a really deep hole and then it can just shoot anything anywhere on
Nope.
the planet.
So, anyways, Ground Zeroes. Before I actually get to what I thought about Ground Zeroes, I want to contribute to a debate that happened like 7 episodes ago, which
Okay.
is this a demo or not?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play the first one, the 8-bit one?
Yeah. It's a demo. The NES or the actual one?
The actual one.
Yes.
Okay, is it good?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it a demo?
No.
You played it. I don't know why. I
No
would
Metal
play
Gear
it.
game is a demo unless you're talking about the
Ground
actual
Zeroes.
demos.
Yeah, the actual demos, yeah.
ahead.
All right, so the answer, I think, is no, it's not a demo, but that's more so because we have this category game and this category demo, and we need some sort of middle ground for things like this. Because, like, when I play
Ground
a game...
Zeroes.
Like, if I was to play, like, Kingdoms of Amalur, right, a game I quite like, I could say, it would immediately come to mind, this is like Fable. This is like blah, blah, blah. And the things I'd be comparing it to are things that are games. But when I think about Ground Zeroes, and I'm like, what is this like? What comes to mind are demos. Even though it's not a demo, I put it in the same category as demos for some reason. Like, demos and stuff that's like this.
Kind of like a prologue.
That's what it is. The game is a prologue.
Yeah, I wish there were
Why is
more
it called Ground
prologues so I had a
Zeroes?
better sense.
Because there's multiple.
I don't want to. It does make sense. I don't want to spoil stuff.
Is it because they blow up Mother Base?
No.
Okay.
Don't. No. Why would you say that?
Why? Because the game came out like 2 years ago.
The game came out last year.
Oh, who cares?
Nonetheless.
we were spawning stuff for Jupiter Ascending like a month ago.
Yeah, but
so
nobody cares about that movie.
nobody can...
Anyways, in terms of the actual game, I was blown away. I thought it was amazing.
Look, the only people who are going to care about Ground Zeroes are fans who've already played it, or you're not going to care about it, in which case they don't care. So
You never know. I'm a Metal Gear Solid fan, and I only played it recently. But nonetheless,
It was a short list.
it was incredible. Actually, I love it's got a much more intense. It's a scarier game than a lot of the other Metal Gear Solid games. The setting is a lot more intense. Than that sort of like more anime sort of tone of the fourth one.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of the first one, actually, in that way.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like that opening scene when you launch out of that mini submarine thing.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make your way to the elevator.
Except you realize you've got this whole camp to move around.
Yeah,
didn't have 45-minute cutscenes to bag down the plot.
it didn't, but it had a lengthy enough cutscene at the end that it was a good length for a cutscene. This is one
It was
thing.
at the end. It was fine. It was
Yeah,
after
no, that's
the
what I'm
action,
saying. Yeah, it's good that they had some sort of cutscene presence in the
Yeah.
game.
Well, there was the long one at the beginning and then the long one at the end. I think
Yeah.
there was a little short one in the middle.
And
Or a couple
It's on
little short
PC,
ones.
right?
Yeah.
the one of the things
Really well optimized on PC too.
there are a lot of great
Like some
gameplay
point.
features. The most noticeable, I think the iDroid is fantastic. I think the ability to
Yeah.
pick multiple LZs for that helicopter was
Yeah.
just a really nice addition to the game.
I went back and because after you said there was more stuff to do, I went back and played it again. And when I went in to rescue the person again, not the first one, the second one, you can choose the LZ that's much closer. So I specifically went in for like a more like, and the first time when I was all stealth, and the second time I
Running
went
gun
in,
approach.
yeah, and then I chose the hot LZ, and that was really cool. It was a much different ending.
Yeah. Did you do any of the other missions?
I can't remember. I don't think so.
Okay.
I just went through and played again.
The other missions are really cool too. They take place in the same camp. They're kind of like if you played Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. There was something called Snake Tales, I think, and they took place on the Big Shell, which is the big
shell.
yeah. It's a big cleanup facility that most of the game takes place on, and you play as Raiden. But Snake Tales are like off-canon stories about Snake going to Big Shell, as like fictional things that would happen in this fictional game. So the missions in Ground Zeroes are kind of like that, where it takes place in the same area, but different stories. Like one of them is Snake goes in to assassinate two different guys. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool, sneaking around at the camp in the day, not at night.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really easy to get spotted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's cool because you feel like an assassin at that point because you're sneaking around and your goal isn't to rescue anyone or find anything. It's just to kill two guys,
That is
two
cool,
specific
yeah.
guys, and you don't know where they are, but you have pictures of them. So you're sneaking around trying to, and if you get spotted, they'll leave the area. Mm-hmm. So it's cool.
The one thing I kind of wish that they would implement in the Metal Gear Solid game, I don't know if they have, it's to the point where I haven't heard people talk about it as a feature. I kind of wish you could put on a guard's uniform, and so in low security areas, you can kind of walk around without having to sneak if you don't do anything suspicious.
Kind of happens in MGS2.
Yeah, but I wish that you could do it because Metal Gear Solid 5, it looks like they're adding in so much stuff. I kind of wish that would be a feature where you can kind of you can walk into the camp for the first bit, and then once you get into the high security area, you kind of got to bluff or sneak your way into there.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
I think Big Boss has a distinct enough look that wouldn't work.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's got basically a horn sticking out of his head.
Yeah, a giant
and an
piece
eye
of
patch.
shrapnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he need that eye patch, or because I've seen?
He
Okay.
has no eye.
Okay, because I know there are some characters in some Metal Gear Solid-esque settings that have an eye patch, but they're like underneath is like a robotic eye or like nothing at all, and they're just like, aha, I fooled you. It's like, oh.
I think one of the things I really like, it's kept the thing which has made Metal Gear Solid, in my opinion, one of the greatest stealth series of all time, which is the best stealth environments I've ever played. The environments are still perfectly designed with great cover. The alert system is very nice for when guards or security cameras are alerted to position. It's great to have good, nice security camera presence again. Reminds me a lot of the first one.
Yeah.
You're given a chance.
In fact, if you unlock the bonus thing by collecting all the emblems in the main game, you unlock a MGS1-esque mission.
Oh, really?
Where you go in as... It's like, you go in as MGS1 Snake. He's all, like, pixelated and stuff.
Yeah.
And all the soldiers are genome soldiers from the first game. And you have to go in, and I think you've got to go find points that will reference the first game. So when you find the security camera, it'll be like a mock-up of that scene.
Oh.
Where Snake will go, a security camera?
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, man, that was great. Actually, that was...
Is it Kiefer Sutherland doing the voice?
It is, unfortunately.
Kiefer Sutherland does a very good job.
He does,
but
I wish they wouldn't.
But it's not David Hayter.
I wish they didn't do the MGS1 thing where he goes back and does that over. Because I'm pretty sure Liquid's voice is in there.
There's,
but not David Hayter's.
There's also a great level of not too much hand-holding in this game, which I like. They don't tell you exactly where to look.
Yeah.
Which is nice. You get some sort of hints. It actually feels like it's bringing that element of the tactical part of tactical espionage.
Metal Gear's never
action.
really told you where to go.
And I like that.
Yeah.
Although I felt
in
4 they were a little too explicit sometimes.
Yeah, 4 seemed more linear than the others, which kind of made sense for 4.
Yeah.
A little more, but...
in its own right, because the story
there was
crazier.
never like a big objective thing, go here.
No, that's true, yeah.
They would tell you have to get to this area, or in MGS3 it's like...
I like how you can set multiple waypoints. So like waypoint A, B, C, and D. I don't know if you can do it in that one, but I've seen demos for Metal Gear Solid 5 where like you can set it so like let's say you're trying to infiltrate a base and you're like, okay, I need to go checkpoint A or waypoint A, B, C, and D, and that's the route I got to take.
Right.
And so I like very few games have ever done that. Also, probably the best controls a Metal Gear game has ever had because they feel really intuitive.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And just like the way he moves around is brilliant.
Yeah.
Because like in most games, if you're prone and you want to look behind you, your character flips around really quickly. But in this game, if you want to look behind you, Snake rolls onto his back, which is something that you would do in real life, but no other game has. And I was blown. I spent like 5 minutes just like having Snake kind of crawl around and do like different actions and stuff. That was really cool.
And I love the
MGS4
change.
does that too.
Huh?
Yeah.
The change in rotations of the guards is really good. Like coming back to a spot you've already been and seeing that it's a little different than you remember it.
Yeah.
Very subtle, but very nice. I was stunned. It was incredible. I do like the thing about this sort of prologue is it's a very intense chapter, and one of the good things about Metal Gear Solid that we know from the history is that they sort of ease you into the action. And so I look forward to being eased into the action with these sort of really nice mechanics that we have now.
It's a much more intense story if you played Peace Walker and
Right,
you
yeah, and I haven't played
invested
Peace
the
Walker
time
yet.
into Peace Walker to build up Mother Base.
Right, yeah. Oh, right, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. But I couldn't be more excited for the Phantom Pain. And I guess, is that what you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, Phantom Pain has an actual release date now.
Yes, it does.
September 1st on PS4 and the other consoles.
I will be getting it the day of.
Is it coming out on PC? in
PC
release?
comes out, I think, 2 weeks after. Hey, it's 2 weeks. It's not
At least it's officially been
18,000
announced.
months.
Yeah. Which one are you gonna get it on?
Probably PS4 because I
That's
want
what I thought.
to get the collector's edition, which comes with a half replica of Snake's hand.
Yes.
Robotic hand.
Have you seen the Metal Gear Solid PS4?
Yeah,
It looks very nice.
it does.
I saw it first, and the first thought that went to my mind was like, oh, they made an Iron Man PS4 because it has the Iron Man
kinda, yeah.
hot
Yeah.
rod red and gold.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Although I like the 20th anniversary PS4 the best, I think.
Oh, really?
The
We
look
need
of
to,
that
we
one.
need
So
to talk
did,
about Age of Ultron.
I saw the thing on Kotaku. And
Yeah.
that was what they said.
Yeah, I think that looks the nicest, but like you're never going to get that.
Right? Yeah.
They should make like a 1960s version that's got like the shiny bit is like wood panel, and then the rest of it is like beige tan colored.
I love wood panel stuff.
It'd be like super ghetto version.
They should. I want them to release a theme or 3 themes for the PlayStation 4, like the desktop themes or whatever. Where one is, or have each theme be the theme be. The startup music is the PlayStation 1 music or the PlayStation 2 music, and then have like the desktop be kind of set up like the PlayStation 3.
The 20th anniversary theme for PS4 does that.
Oh, does it? Yeah, but to be fair, the 20th anniversary PlayStation 4 is like $1,000.
No, like you can download the theme for.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It plays when you go to the actual dashboard of the PS4. It plays the PS1 startup.
Which is the best startup noise ever.
Yeah. I like the XMB from the PS3 more than the PS4.
So do I.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was going to be an unpopular opinion.
In fact, their smart TVs use the same interface.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There are things I like about this. The ability to close applications is a nice little feature. Options close application.
Yep.
But aside from that, I like everything about the PS3.
They're adding
But they could have added that into the PS3 with a patch. Probably.
Yes.
Well, you couldn't run multiple applications though, so there wouldn't.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They have changed some stuff. I just started up the PS3 there 2 days ago I wanted to check something out, and they did update the dash a little bit. They moved some icons around,
and they've changed the look of the PlayStation Network icon to like this blue thing, which is kind of cool actually.
Yeah. I think they're trying to keep it more in line with PS4.
Yeah,
I do like that they're supporting both.
Yes, they're very good about both. Yeah, like
Unlike the Vita, which they kind of like, it didn't do well in the first month of playing.
Yeah.
Abandon that. Everyone jumped ship.
I don't like that. I love the Vita. The Vita is such a great piece of
the Vita has a lot of potential.
It is a great system. And had they Lightning, because the 3DS was terrible when it first came out, but Nintendo put several years and a lot of money into making that console good, and that was great because it got a lot of good games.
They don't listen to their customers.
What?
They just like, we're putting money into this, so let's just keep doing it.
Yeah.
They're not like, everyone hates it, let's stop.
Yeah.
Everyone hates it, let's keep doing it.
Think like Sony could, if Sony started to release. Think of all the big franchises. How many people will go out and buy a PS Vita if they drop the price has been dropped a lot. If they drop the price a little bit more.
What is it now? Does anyone know offhand?
PS4?
No,
Vita.
Vita. $199.
Yeah. So
That's the Borderlands 2 bundle. I don't know if it's $150 without the game.
Okay, $150 is about the 3DS XL. 3DS XL I think is a little bit more expensive. How many people will go out and buy it tomorrow if they were like, new Spyro game coming out for the Vita? A lot of people.
I'd probably buy a new one.
Yeah.
Except I'm poor.
I think it's too expensive.
I love Spyro. Just throwing that out there.
Actually, I think I want a lot of the PS4 needs to have all of their old games or a lot of their old games put on Virtual Console, like the Nintendo stuff, and just put back on. I keep hitting the mic. I'm sorry, Rory. And put on their console for download. So like Spyro or Twisted Metal or I can't think of any more. Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, Tomb Raider. People would buy those games. Except they're not making any. They can't charge a full release for them. So instead, they're going to be like, we're going to release a HD remake.
I wish they'd done a thing where, like, if you already owned a copy of the game on previous generations, you could like type in a number and then you'd unlock it.
I wish they'd do a thing where it's called backwards compatibility, but there we are.
I don't know how feasible that is.
Anyway, they're adding the suspend feature to PS4.
It's Sony. I'm sure somebody could figure out a solution.
It's really easy to go online and find pictures of CD cases. So if there was something you had to type in, like I think it's UPC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like barcodes wouldn't work. But if they had like a code or something,
this
like
is
a unique code.
Somewhat related. In the old BioWare forums, the BioWare, the game company.
Oh, okay.
On the forums, you would get these flares on your name. Your username underneath, you would go in and type in a UPC code of the game. They would list the game you had under.
Yeah.
The actual BioWare games. So KOTOR, Jade Empire, Mass Effect. My UPC code for one of them didn't work. I forget which one. So I just Googled it and got a case and found the UPC number off that, and that worked.
Oh.
So if you you wouldn't be able to use a UPC code because you'd be getting games. That
I mean,
you don't
like the
actually
Origin
own.
thing though. Like if you own an EA game and you didn't buy it through Origin, you can type in the CD key. And
Right,
It
the
adds it
thing-
to your
yeah.
Origin
By the
library.
way,
You
Origin
can't do
needs
that
to
with-
stop,
Yeah,
as does
like Origin.
Uplay. They all need
Yeah.
to stop.
you play more so.
I don't mind
Yeah.
Origin.
Really?
Origin works fine.
Uplay is worse.
there's-
Oh, I
Origin
have
is
no
not
problem with the way
near-
it works. I just think it's an unnecessary service.
At least Origin is not nearly as obnoxious as Uplay. Uplay is every
you-
time you boot up anything Ubisoft now. If you don't sign up for Origin or for Uplay immediately, it's like, okay, we're gonna ask you every single time.
Yeah, it's unbelievably annoying.
Yeah, and
The,
that's on console.
Yeah,
It's much worse on PC.
I can imagine.
We're gonna take a quick break now. When we come back,
I want to talk about Age of Ultron for a bit.
Okay.
we will.
Unless you're
And we are back on the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 8. Before the break, we were talking about Metal Gear Solid, and now after the break, Adam wanted to talk about Ultron.
well, Age of Ultron. Although I can talk about the character if you like. He's very cool. Third Age of Ultron trailer dropped this week. They show a lot of stuff that makes me think that the movie is going to be stupidly awesome. But then again, I thought Avengers 1 was going to be awful because of the trailer, so who knows. One thing I did like, they showed interesting character interaction between Black Widow and Hulk, which was interesting. And I don't know if anybody stuck around to the very end of the trailer, because normally when you see like the Marvel and like coming soon stuff, I click out. But if you wait till the very end, you see the Vision. And then I went through and I went back and I watched it again. And you know the scene where they're all like in a circle and they're fighting off a bunch of guys?
Yeah.
The Vision's in that one too. And the Vision is... I don't care, spoilers. He's a robot
The
created...
spoilers for the actual movie?
No, spoilers for the character, which is probably going to fall in the movie.
Yeah, that's fine.
Probably going to spoil the movie. Go spoil the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't
by the way,
matter.
I want to bring something else up. The Vision was created by Ultron to infiltrate the Avengers and kind of like work as an agent to take them apart from the inside.
So he's a robot.
He's a robot.
Does
yeah.
he look like a robot?
He looks like a no.
He doesn't
kind
look
of.
like a robot.
He looks like a human, but he's like red. I'll show you a picture. Yeah.
Is it stupid that the Avengers are so easily fooled by a fake human?
Not
Who's red?
No, I don't think.
well. I don't know.
Or
I haven't-
if they know that it's a robot, is it stupid that they would let him join the Avengers while they're fighting all these other
he doesn't
robots?
look like a robot. He just looks
No,
like
he doesn't look like a robot.
he looks like an alien, and they have aliens on their team.
Yeah, he's red.
No.
So
It doesn't
like,
look like that in the movie though.
yeah, he kind of does.
Similar.
It's to the point where I don't think they're gonna go for the infiltration storyline
very
because that's gonna be
robot eyes.
way too much stuff on the go. Although he hooks up with
Apparently-
Scarlet Witch in the
Wait,
the
is
comics.
Paul Bettany actually playing
Yeah.
him in the movie?
Oh, that's cool.
I said that like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Because we were complaining that he wasn't Jarvis
walk-up.
in the
Yeah, I
show,
know, and I was
right?
like, he's the Vision, and everyone kept talking about how he's not Jarvis anymore. And I was like,
Oh,
he's
so
the Vision.
he's Jarvis and the Vision in this movie.
And I totally
That's
called
weird.
that Tony Stark was going to be responsible for making Ultron as some sort of like
and Banner, partially.
yeah, but it's mainly Stark.
Is it?
And it makes more sense for Stark too because Stark is like because in the comics it's Hank Pym. So in the comics,
Wait, how do you know it's mainly Stark?
Because
Because Adam's already seen the movie.
yeah.
No, but that's what I'm wondering. You think it's both of them, and you think
It
it's
is
mainly
yeah,
Stark.
both of them.
But I think
I
it's
heard
going
that
to
it's
be mainly
both of them.
Stark because one, it's Stark's like Stark is robotics and technology, where where Banner
And
is,
everything
is
for some reason.
Yeah, well, he's a polymath.
Yeah,
He-
Banner is pretty specific.
And Hank Pym is a physicist, and he's like, I created artificial intelligence. I'm like, that's not your field, but all right.
I heard Joss Whedon said that he didn't want another random guy to just show up and make the bad guy, so they were like,
I could see that.
we'll let Ant-Man happen later on.
And it honestly makes sense because at the end of Iron Man 3, spoilers for that, he blows up all the armor. He's like, I'm retiring as Iron Man, but you know he's not going to give up crime fighting per se.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense that he create like an army of drones to kind of like pinch in and help the Avengers. That makes sense.
Also, at the end of Iron Man 3, he takes out the thing that made him Iron Man to begin with.
Yeah.
And he struggled 3 movies to get past, and at the end of the movie, it's just like, well, I guess that's out.
Yeah.
That's fixed.
Yeah.
Also saved
you know
my wife.
you know what I thought would have been. I don't know if they brought it up, but it would have been cool if they were like Tony was like, I finally decided to get that that surgery done and get those shrapnel pieces out from my heart.
Like it was his decision to not do that.
Yeah, no, but it would have been cool. It would have been cool if he was like, I even hired the best surgeon in the world, Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange is actually a surgeon. So it would have been cool just to have him like mention Doctor Strange one up. I don't think he did. But...
The end of that movie was such a.
I don't know that they were that far ahead.
Oh, by the way, I just wanted to mention Adam because we were talking about this before. We were trying to figure out if the actor who played Marco Polo was actually Italian. Yes.
He is?
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Oh no, I was pretty much done.
Oh, okay.
I trailed off because I couldn't think of the right word. I didn't like the end of the movie.
No, it was stupid.
The end of Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
Neither did I. Although I love that movie.
It's a pretty good movie. I wish he was Iron Man more in the movie though.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Avengers because there looks to be like a couple of really cool fights between Ultron and the Avengers.
Yeah.
But I'm worried that although I was worried about the first one and I was proven wrong, I'm kind of worried that they're doing the Star Trek Into Darkness thing or the Spider-Man 3 thing where they're trying to juggle too many plot points. Because you have Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, you have Ultron, you have the Tony Stark Hulkbuster versus Hulk fight. I don't know how they're going to fit all that into a movie. If anyone can do it, is Joss Whedon, who has an ability to juggle a lot of plot points and characters.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. I mean, it's going to be one of those cases where we're just going to have to wait and see.
I don't think they're going to clue up all those points. Like, I know the Captain America Iron Man dispute isn't going to be resolved in this movie because that's why Civil War is happening.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe like the Grey Hulk thing, like if he's becoming Grey Hulk in this movie, like Hulkbuster versus Hulk, like if that'll be resolved or not. Like I like Joss Whedon can definitely do it if anybody can, but I just think they're not going to resolve a lot of the plot points in this movie.
Bruce Banner should just get shot at the end.
It wouldn't work though.
Can I go on a little segue here? You guys know I like to defend critics. Here's the kind of criticism I'm not going to defend. We were talking about Marco Polo, right? And how it received this, mixed to negative reviews. I don't like criticism that is more concerned with clever wording than actually informing people. And I'll give you an instance. The Rotten Tomatoes critical consensus for Marco Polo.
Don't say who it is. Who it's by.
It's the critical consensus.
All right.
It's
go
just their
ahead. I don't know what that is. Go ahead.
No
names, though.
There are no names.
Okay.
An all-around disappointment, Marco Polo is less entertaining than a round of the game that shares its name. This kind of criticism bothers me, because that doesn't inform me of anything. That's just like someone being clever.
Yep. Shares its name?
There's a game called Marco Polo.
Oh, I thought you were talking like it's like a Marco of Thrones or something.
That kind of stuff just bothers me. I don't know why. I just think that bashing something to sound clever is one of the worst forms of criticism out there.
You want to talk about Steam, because Steam had a bunch of stuff coming out, like their new VR headset, the Pipe, and their new
Valve.
Valve. Sorry,
The
Valve.
Pipe.
Yeah, well, everything else is Steve or Valve related.
It's just
Steve.
Steam. Or...
Does it actually have a name? I'm looking at the Steam site. It just says Steam VR.
All right, I'm gonna call it.
It's called the Vive.
I'm gonna call the visor or the welding helmet.
It's called the
I'm
Vive.
gonna call the Steam box.
I don't know if it's the
Pipe.
Revive or just the Vive, because the logo has Vive and in front of it there's like an RE shape.
I don't. Oh, is it like Z Basho? Like you guys know that restaurant downtown that's actually called Basho, but there's a Z in front of it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was Z Basho for the longest time.
That's good marketing.
What?
I'm assuming that's pronounced differently.
It's not a Z. Like
No,
it's like
Basho. Okay.
It's a character.
My cousin worked there.
But that's like a logo, and then the title,
Yeah.
the name of the restaurant is Basho, but the logo looks suspiciously like a Z in the.
Maybe it's the logo then, but I don't know why they would make the logo and the word be another word.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pressure.
All right.
Anyway, Steam came out with a bunch of announcements.
There's a VR helmet that nobody cares about.
That's I've heard that.
I care about it a lot. Actually.
Yeah, I've heard that it's ahead of the Oculus Rift,
Oh.
technologically speaking. What?
I had.
Oh, goddamn. So yeah,
mind.
What's going on?
I was trying to show you guys the screen.
Or we all said, yeah, we know. And you were like, let me show you. Like, no, we get it.
Steam controller, which is the Steam controller. The Steam Link.
We're going to call that the pressure gauge.
Okay.
call it the Ghetto Blaster.
The Steam
What it
Link
looks like.
is a little streaming box you hook up to your television.
It's like a hard drive. That's what I thought it was.
U-bend.
Okay. So you hook it up to your TV and you can stream games for your PC. It's like a little
Oh, actually, we're going to call that evaporation.
Okay.
Why don't you call it like a
Or how about a Steam Link?
No, we're going to call it evaporation.
Okay. And Steam machines, which we already knew about. They're
Call it the pipe.
so the
shaft?
I don't know if the Steam controller and the Steam Link are made by
HTC? Because they came
Valve.
out with
HTC's making the VR set.
I would be surprised.
And the Steam machines are being made by a bunch of different people.
Yeah, because there's not one uniform Steam machine. It's,
No, there's a bunch.
Well, there's a bunch of uniform Steam machines. The Steam machines are boxes. Like they're typically not,
The uniform, but they're like tiered, so like
Yeah.
you can get like super awesome ones.
but
or
they're typically not customizable like a normal PC is.
Yeah,
So you probably can't pop them open and switch parts out.
yeah,
They're like consoles,
yeah.
right?
But I don't see the point of that, because if you have a console,
Yep.
like an Xbox or
Yep.
or whatever, you're having it because it's cheap, and because you prefer that kind of the games that come out on those consoles. If you want to play the Steam games, you either have a laptop that can play like me, that can play like the lower end indie games, or you have you invest the time and money into a decent computer, and you get a lot of the higher end games, and you play them on you play. So instead of getting Borderlands for the Xbox, you get Borderlands for the PC. I don't see the point in having a Steam machine, because people are either going to have one or the other.
The Steam machines are really for people that don't want to invest close to $1,000 for a big rig.
It's
much
not
are
dissimilar to Alienware's smaller models in that way. Yeah.
And they don't want to. They want to play on a big screen TV. So laptop is completely viable for that, but maybe
It's
they
a
don't
weird
want that.
crossover market.
So it's for the console market, but for people that don't want consoles.
I just can't see them making a lot of money with that, though.
They're probably not going to make a ton of money, but there's definitely a market for them.
I forget what company makes it, but you know the Shield.
Yep, the NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
They announced that there's a new one coming out, and they're just like, you can play all of these games. You can buy this new product, and you can play all of these games. And they announced a bunch of games like I don't know if these are the actual games, but like Dishonored or Batman Arkham Origins or like Borderlands the pre-sequel and stuff like that. You can play it on this new console. I'm just like, yeah, but most people already have it for either a console that they already own or PC. So why would we go out and buy this new thing?
Is it? Can you play games off of it? I thought it was a streaming device like the Link is.
No, it comes with games attached.
Like you can stream it.
Yeah, that's what I assumed it was. It was just
no, but it comes with like you can
because this thing's really small.
Yeah,
have
but
you seen it?
It's like a controller with a
Like
screen
that
on
thick.
it.
No, it's not. They're coming out with a console.
Oh,
it's not
a bigger
just
thing.
Yes, it's an actual like.
Oh,
It's not just like I know, because they have like a controller that you can stream, and they have like tablets and stuff like PC like gaming tablets.
No, but I saw this box.
Yeah.
Like it's just a vertical box. It's not very thick.
No, well, I don't know. The one I saw was bigger.
I don't know.
The Shield is like
Yeah,
tiny. It's like a sheet of paper.
If they can
practically.
make something that big and run games off of it, like actual like good graphical games, that's impressive. If they can do that, it looks nice though. I like the look of the Steam Link more though. I like how it's very.
yeah. I
That's
think
also another thing. They announced this at the same time that they're announcing the Steam Link and the Steam Machine. If anybody's going to get anything like that, it's going to be the thing that Valve makes.
Yeah.
And that's Valve supported, because Valve is single-handedly, like Google or World of Warcraft, has like dominated that market. So.
yeah, that's probably one of the main reasons I'm. The hell was that? The reason I'm looking into the Vive is because it's Valve. You know, it's being designed and built by or with Valve.
Plus, it looks cool.
It does. I mean,
I think it looks nicer than the Oculus does.
yeah, it's kind of alien looking.
It looks cyberpunky. It's
Yeah.
cool.
I heard the head tracking is a lot better than the Rift and the.
I think there are like for the actual motion controls they use, there are boxes you set up in your room.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah.
it's like it measures your movements in a total 3D space.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Instead
Okay.
of
Yeah.
like you have to be standing in front of a television.
Yeah. It
Here's
also
my-
has a motion sensor in it as well for when you're in a game, you can walk around inside the game, but it also has an alert system. So if you're getting really close to a wall in the real world, it'll say like, like beep beep, like you're getting close to a wall. And I think they said it also outlines your save zone. So like it shows you, if you look down at your feet in the game, it shows you where you can walk in the real world without bumping into something. Which I think is a cool feature, obviously, so you're not always running into walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think VR is interesting. I'm not sure if I'll ever really truly integrate that into my approach.
Yeah.
I'm kind of an old man about it, actually. Like the same way I am about 3D in movies.
I think
It's cool.
I think eventually VR is going to take off in a
Yeah.
big way.
Right. Yeah.
I think it is going
I
to
don't
replace.
think we're quite there yet, though.
No,
It'll have to be good in a lot of things. Just like 3D. The problem with 3D movies is they're not good in a lot of movies.
Right. And I don't necessarily think that 3D movement inside of these things is going to be a thing either.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of
I
limiting.
think it's going to take off in a big way in the sense that it's going to be an alternative to using a big screen television.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
So like instead of sitting down and playing on your big screen TV, you just sit in the corner with a headset and you've got that experience.
It eliminates
but
the
you're-
right stick.
Right.
yeah.
It eliminates the need for all this other stuff.
I think
Yeah.
the,
That's
Like
true. Yeah.
eventually I think the game is going to just be maybe part of the glasses or just a little or part of the controller or something even.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I can see that.
You could even stream off one of these things,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got your big PC in one room, and you're just streaming this stuff in another room if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a very portable alternative to a big screen television.
I think
Yeah.
they should start incorporating. I think Valve was actually talking about it as well, but incorporating binaural or whatever the word is, audio. So like you get not
Oh
only,
yeah.
not
what is
only-
that word? Is it like biannural or something?
Just like
I
think-
think it's binaural. Binaural.
I forget where the A is in that word.
It's
basically.
AURAL.
Oh. Okay.
just for
yeah.
like
Binaural.
basically 3D audio. So like you could turn your head around and you would know the sound. Like I know games sort of do that now. It's kind of weird to pinpoint it out because in games you can kind of figure out where sound
It's
is
like
coming
super
from.
surround sound.
But yeah, it's basically just like two mics positioned in a distance where it would sound the same to you in that recording as it would in real life. There's a famous recording from like the early 90s where I think it's like a haircut simulator or something where if you listen to the audio, you basically just close your eyes. And it's like this guy comes in and he talks to you and he like walks around and you can, it's like if you close your eyes, you can picture him walking around that space.
Right. Yeah.
I think that would work really well in a VR setup.
Yeah.
It would
Absolutely.
work well for a game like Slender, or
yeah.
where, because I'm just thinking of a really simple game.
Well, surround sound works well in pretty much any game.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking Slender because, or Left 4 Dead. Because in Left 4 Dead, you gotta, like, you can, where the like, it's hard in Left 4 Dead to pinpoint where the monsters are, because each of the special affected have their own screams or sounds. But if they were able to implement that and come out with Left 4 Dead 3,
Arma would be a great game for that.
yeah, or, like, I don't know, I'm just trying to, or PT would be a great example of that, because, like, you could, there's so many sounds in that game that you, or game trailer, whatever it is, you could hear
Prologue.
There we go. You could definitely hear what what was going on around you. Then it would make the experience much more frightening. Can you imagine PT and with this Steam thing?
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
We need, because he's never gonna,
Sony's Morpheus is coming out next year, I think.
yeah.
That's their VR thing.
I'm gonna take the red pill.
I'm most excited about using VR in a car game because I think that's probably going to be its best application because you're sitting down, you're not moving in the game, and then you just have that whole experience.
It'd be cool for
I'm
like
really
being able to
excited
like
about that.
check mirrors and check behind.
Yeah,
and stuff.
exactly.
You know what
It's
was
sort of
great?
like
A great
look
addition in car games. So, like, one of the things that bothered me about like really early car games from the '90s is bumper view and not cockpit view. Bumper view, I can't. I don't know if you can play driving games like that because I cannot.
I do it
That's
now
the
and
only way I
then
can
if I'm
play.
trying to do like a cinematic thing.
I
but
think
don't
Right,
play
bumper
yeah.
view
games like
works
it.
well if you've got a wheel set up. Like Aaron's got the
G25.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
wheel thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah.
if he's using that in a cockpit view, he's got 2 wheels in front of him.
Yeah, but that doesn't
yeah.
usually bother me.
It would bother me. Is what
Yeah.
it
Why?
is. I don't know. I don't want to.
But cockpit view is my favorite.
The only
view
time
in
that's
racing games.
jarring to me in a car game is when the steering wheel in the game doesn't match with your steering wheel.
Yeah.
Because with the G25, the Logitech racing wheel, if you don't know, it has 900-degree rotation, and in a lot of games they only use like 45 or 180-degree rotation. So it's basically like, you know, left and right is basically all you have. You never turn the wheel more than once. So if the game is registering the 900-degree steering with the 180 degrees, then the wheel spins like super quick in the game when you just move it a little bit.
Right,
So
yeah.
it becomes really jarring, and the car sensitivity is like super ridiculous in the game. So you need to tweak it in order for it to match up, which sometimes is a bit of a pain. But
So, I'm a huge fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Because in my opinion, that's a gaming series that is as minimal as a gaming series can be.
Have you played either of any? Of them?
No, I haven't. I've only watched videos, but even like watching videos, I've been like, it makes me not want to play because it's so scary.
Yeah.
But like, it's.
I think that might even make it more scary because you're not really in control.
Oh, I can pause it.
Like I kind of see that like when I watch videos
Yeah.
of like Alien Isolation or something. It's
Yeah.
like way more terrifying than actually playing the
Man,
game.
that game is scary. But no, Five Nights at Freddy's, it's like such a simple game and gameplay mechanics. But it is by far the scariest game I've ever seen. And the third one came out suddenly last week. There was no announcement or anything. It was like, oh, it's out. And everybody's like, oh my god. And I've seen various people play that game. That is so scary. I cannot even imagine what it would be like. Because I think there's a rumor going around that like they're trying to get an Oculus Rift version up on the go.
How did that work?
don't
Though?
know.
The whole game is pre-rendered.
No, not for number 3.
That game
Yeah,
is
but that's
pre-rendered
pre-rendered
too.
as well.
But like you can move your head in that
Yeah,
game.
but
I think that'd be
like the camera
sickening.
shifts.
Yeah.
It's not a 3D environment.
I don't know what they're exactly trying. They might even be referring to the 4th game, because there probably is going to be a 4th game because these games have done like just unbelievably well.
I don't even find like I've seen videos of the third one. I don't even find I guess Freddy, whoever is hunting you down in the game. I don't even find him that scary. Like I know he's like
not as
like
scary
rotted and pulled apart and like
He's
old,
not.
but
He
he's
doesn't
still
look as scary, but he behaves way more scary
yeah.
because like he moves
guess.
in this one.
He
As opposed to the other
he
one.
looks scary in 3. Like in the first one, they're
No, I
almost-
find them way scary because I have a thing with like animatronic or like costume people.
Yeah.
And we're coming up to the end of the radio show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll continue this in the after show. Talk to you later. Welcome back to Pixel Junkies. This is the Pixel Junkies podcast after show. This is a very rushed show because we're going to be going to see Chappie tonight very soon.
We'll talk about that on next week's episode.
Yes,
I just wanted to finish up my thought on Five Nights
yeah.
at Freddy's. Goddamn asshole.
I didn't do anything wrong. I ended the show on time.
Yeah, but you could have given us a fucking moment's warning.
Can that like light flash or something and you'd be like 5-minute warning or
I could probably set that up. Actually, no, the thing probably
Rory
explodes.
could be the flashing light.
Yeah.
When it's 5 minutes, he could jump around.
So like Five Nights at Freddy's.
So, Source 2 is coming out soon. I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
I just really wanted to say just one thing. That game is so scary, and I can say this because he'll never watch it. We absolutely have to get Jordan to play that because I can guarantee you he's never heard of that game, and we need to just like.
He's never heard of it?
I doubt
Probably
it.
not.
He's probably never heard of it.
I'm sad that they've released so many games so quick because I bought the first one in hopes to get him to play it, and then they released the second and third one
Well,
since.
we can probably get him to play the first one. We cannot tell him beforehand what we're doing. Invite him over and saying we're gonna do a special in Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I'm there, or Kingdom Hearts, and it's like before we get to
I want
that,
him to play Alien as well. We gotta get him to play Alien.
I think we should do both at the same time. So
One after the other.
yeah, can we get this on the go?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Those will come out. We still have to do your video too.
Oh, yeah, my
from
punishment challenge.
What is
Oblivion
what is
Walker.
your punishment?
He has to play a shitty game that he doesn't want to play.
Why?
Is it shitty
'Cause I
games
lost
or
that.
is it a game that he doesn't want to play?
Oh, you lost a bet? What was the...
'Cause I think we
How
should
many
make him
episodes it would
play.
take to get Oblivion Walker? Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he lost. So now we got to do that. We didn't forget. We just haven't gotten to it yet.
What game is it?
It's going to be Katamari. because I hate that game.
I recently rewatched that episode and you
with
shit all over it.
passion. I think it's terrible.
I wanted to ask you guys a question because we were talking about demos earlier.
No.
Do you have a favorite demo?
The Grinch on PS1.
I totally thought you were going to say Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes.
Really?
Yeah.
I played the shit out of that demo. I didn't even finish it.
That's like the whole game.
I know. It is, though. We could do a special on just the demo.
My favorite demo of all time is Metal Gear Solid.
Uh,
Not Ground
Ground
Zeroes.
Zeroes.
Metal Gear Solid
The original.
1?
Yeah.
I love that demo.
That's like half the game, too. There's a very big portion of that game in that
You get to right before you collect the DARPA chief, right? You're in that. Yeah, that's exactly where you get to. You get to that
half
area.
the game.
Okay, then never
It's
mind.
like 5
Apparently
minutes
I never
a game.
played much of that demo.
Wait, no. We also played different.
Or you just
You probably
sucked
played
at
the
it.
American demo. I played the Japanese demo because I have this ancient PS1 demo disc that has the Japanese demo for that game on it, so it might be different.
Don't take my word for this. If that's... What am I saying? Don't believe me too much when I say this.
Don't take my word for this.
Don't listen to him.
Don't listen to me.
Just say whatever it is.
But the demo I played, I kind of remember getting up to the part where I have to exit the hangar, right before the tank battle.
That was a cat throwing.
Oh,
up.
what? No way. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely wrong. There's no way the demo's that long.
I kind of remember running
Really?
up to that part.
But
At
that's
what point? What part?
Just
part
the
before you
tank.
meet Vulcan Raven.
No, there's no way it was that long.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like half the
three-quarters of the
game.
game.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it
You
is. Yeah.
get the
It is.
the
That's
tank-
that.
You get the DARPA chief. You go down to the basement. You fight Ocelot. Then you go up to the tank battle.
You get Baker. No,
Psycho Mantis before that as well.
You don't fight Psycho Mantis before.
you
the
don't
tank
fight
battle.
Psycho Mantis before that, but
He's
you
after the
do.
tank battle.
But you do get Hal.
Yeah.
You get Hal Emmerich before
I
that.
thought you fought.
Are you sure?
Hal Emmerich's in the building with Psycho Mantis.
What's the chick's name?
Meryl.
Meryl.
I thought you got her, and then
You do.
You fought.
You
Psycho
do get her
Mantis.
before that. Before that, though, before
Oh,
the tank
well.
battle.
You meet Meryl
You
right
do.
after DARPA chief.
Yes.
Then you go down to the basement and fight Ocelot
and get
find
Baker. Yeah.
Then you go up to the hangar, contact Meryl. She opens the door for you. You go out to the tank.
It couldn't be that long though. Like it's
All right,
that's
we're
a
spending too much
significant.
time on this.
Anyways,
We gotta go soon.
yeah.
I
Source
want to
2.
hit the point. Andrew just said Source 2 is free. Is it out yet?
I don't know. I don't
Anyway,
know.
so
What was that?
Unreal or Epic said to this week that Unreal 4 is now going to be free for everybody.
You've been playing around with that, haven't you?
And I've been fooling around with it. They said it's going to be free, and they want 5% revenue on whatever you make if you decide to sell it, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Unity?
Unity 5 was released. Yeah.
Unity is free now as well, and Source 2 is free. So we got 3 game engines, 3 like AAA potential game engines.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Free now.
Yeah.
Which is great. And it seems like they're all competing with each other for every other developer's business. So that's great.
Cool thing about Source 2 is it's free even for developers. The only caveat to that is you have to sell your game on Steam.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
The-
No,
Everybody
it's not
does
that.
that
They don't
anyway.
even take royalty. You just have to sell
EA
the
be
game
like, "Fuck
on
that."
Steam.
The thing I do want to mention one thing. This is unrelated. So I wanted to start watching the Clone Wars. It's on Netflix, right?
The cartoon or the animated one? The CG.
What?
Is that our
Clone Wars
thumbnail?
was the animated shorts.
No,
before the-
no. I mean the actual series. The actual series, like Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Okay.
Because there was one done by the same guy that does Samurai Jack, which was a series of shorts. And then there's the TV series that started in 2008
Yeah,
and finished up last year.
That one, yeah.
Okay.
That has like 6 some odd seasons.
5 plus like half cut season.
Okay, yeah.
Plus the movie.
half cut.
The movie is the first 3 episodes of season 1. Though.
I got so far. I've made it through the first 2 minutes because the narration
Okay, now
killed
hang
me.
on.
I had to stop.
Now hang on. The first season is
old,
pretty bad.
The first minute is excruciating.
The first
what is with that awkward narration?
You mean the opening?
Yeah.
I love those because think about it this way.
that guy's the worst timing I've ever heard.
Think about it this way. It's the same as the announcements would have been during movie theaters when World War II was on the go. And they'd be like, this week.
Stereotypical.
Yeah, now we've
narration.
improved on that.
What?
And now we've improved
I
on
don't even know what
that.
that is.
But that's what it's supposed to be.
Like,
And
It's
The
still
first season, there's
painful.
not a lot of great episodes in the first
Oh,
season.
I'm sure
but
it's a
the
great
second
show.
through rest of them are excellent. Please give it a try.
Oh, I'm sure it's a great show.
Aaron's
well.
going to do a spot-on impression of the
Oh, now you're putting me on the spot.
All right, go ahead.
I'm Tom Kane. Welcome to Star Wars Clone Wars. Eat a dick. I hate my own fucking voice. I fucking hate Tom Kane. Stop doing everything, please.
I like
You're
Tom
ruining
Kane.
it. No, you
Nothing.
don't.
He's good in this.
I was in Batman.
I will
and
admit-
fucked it up.
For as many, the problem with Star Wars: The Clone Wars,
I ruined Arkham.
Shut up.
Whatever. The Arkham quadrilogy.
the reason
Tom Kane.
when Star Wars: The Clone Wars is good, it is really good, and when Star Wars, and it's usually really good when it's focusing on some of the minor characters that are really cool, like Asajj Ventress or
Tom Kane
Grievous.
die?
Yes, shut the fuck up. Or Anakin and Ahsoka, or just the aspects of the war, the clone troopers and stuff. It's really good. But when it's bad, it is so fucking bad, and I feel like when it's bad is because George fucking Lucas stuck his big fucking mitts into
Imagine
the
if
plot. It's
Tom
like,
Kane was the bad guy
better
in
put in a
episode
comedic
7.
racist character.
I feel like they should have made the movie a lot better than it was. The Clone Wars movie.
We went to see
For what it was
didn't we?
fun.
Yeah.
What?
Which Clone Wars movie are you talking about?
It was.
There was a movie that came out, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the movie,
It introed, the
and it was
series.
basically 3 episodes strung together.
Oh,
because I think
that
it
one,
eventually
okay,
ended up
yeah.
becoming 3 episodes.
But they could have done anything else, any other storyline, and that would have been better.
Really? What was wrong with it?
A baby hut.
Yes, okay, that was really fucking bad.
What's wrong with it? A baby hut.
But
Yep.
I forgot about that. But besides that, it was pretty good. And I fucking hate. I forget
Besides
what
the
his
main
name.
plot of the story. Was pretty good.
Not well. He's only in it for a bit. But the part
Same with Tom
that
Kane.
I
Just
fucking
ruined
hate was it Zero the Hutt? Zilla the Hutt? I can't remember his
Nobody
name.
cares.
Zilla
The
the
No, but
effeminate-
yeah,
the effeminate hut?
he talks like this. Yeah, I'm a Hutt and I'm a very serious space gangster, and I like to kill lots of people, and I hate the Jedi.
Still better than Tom Kane.
You know what I want to see?
Shut up!
I want to see Star Wars.
Do an effeminate Tom Kane.
An effeminate Tom Kane. I had to think about that.
All right.
You know what I want to see Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the anime, like in Japanese with all traditional
I
like
like
anime
it.
quirks. Like that's the show
I
I want.
would
They
not
have it.
enjoy
It's
that.
called Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the first animated series. It's basically anime-ish because it's basically Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anime elements in that. Where the problem with that is it gets a bit too ridiculous with what the Jedi can do, because there's like a scene where they Mace Windu jumps like 200 feet in the fucking air and then like slices a Star Destroyer in half, and it's like,
Mace
okay,
Windu.
that's cool, but they couldn't do that in the movies, man. So yeah,
You just have to presume that it was.
how do you spell Kane? Is it CA?
K-A?
We're gonna close up the show now, I think.
Yeah, we gotta get going.
Because we gotta go.
to our movie.
So thank you for listening, and we will see you next Monday.
I'm
Goodbye.
Tom Kane.